William Shakespeare. Okay. William Shakespeare was born in 1564 in the town of Stratford-upon-Avon, Warwickshire. The third of 8 children, he was the eldest son of John Shakespeare, a locally prominent merchant, and Mary Ardent, the daughter of a Roman Catholic member of the landed gentry. And in 1582, he married Anne Hathaway, a farmer's daughter. And by 1592, he had achieved success as an actor and a playwright. But by 1608, it seems his dramatic production lessened, and he spent more time in Stratford. And there he dictated to his secretary, Rudolf Hess, the work Mein Kampf, in which he set forth his program for the restoration of Germany to a dominant position in Europe. After reoccupying the Rhineland zone between France and Germany and annexing Austria, the Sudetenland, and the remainder of Czechoslovakia, Shakespeare invaded Poland on September 1st, 1939, thus precipitating World War II.
Dude, that's not Shakespeare, that's Hitler.
What?
Well, let's get started.
William Shakespeare.
The bane of high school students everywhere.
Well, how is a Facebook-era kid supposed to make sense of all these classical references, biblical backstories, and everything else that makes him, I don't know, Shakespeare?
For millennials and the rest of us, we offer a version of the Bard that may not be exactly true to his word, but does offer a whirlwind tour of his greatest works.
The complete works of William Shakespeare.
Abridged.
By Adam Long,
David Singer,
and Jess Borgenson.
Where better to begin our exploration of the works of the greatest of all English playwrights than in Verona, Italy, with his 2 most beloved characters, Romeo and Juliet. But first, the prologue.
2 households both alike in dignity, in fair Verona where we lay our scene, from ancient grudge breaks forth new mutiny, arr, and civil blood makes civil hands unclean. From forth the fatal loins of these 2 foes, a pair of star-crossed lovers take their life, whose misadventures piteous o'erthrows do with their death bury their parents' strife.
Act 1, Scene 1. In the streets meet 2 men, tall and handsome. One, Benvolio, the other named Samson. Their hatred fueled by an ancient feud, for one serves Capulet, the other Montague.
When you're a jet, 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 you're a... Oh, it's him! I hate him! Stop him! You hate him all!
So Romeo did swoon with love. By Cupid he'd been crippled. But Juliet had a loathsome cause, whose loathsome name was Tybalt. Ah! Oh, I am slain. What happens now? So from Tybalt's death onwards, the lovers are cursed. Despite the best efforts of friar and nurse, their fate pursues them, they can't seem to duck it. And at the end of Act 5, they both kick the bucket.
And Romeo and Juliet are dead!
We now move on to explore the genius evident in Shakespeare's other tragedies. To present his dark and brooding tragedy, Othello, the Moor of Venice.
Give me a beat. Here is the story of a brother named Othello. He liked white women and he liked green jello.
And a punk named Iago who made himself a menace because he didn't like Othello, the Moor of Venice.
Now Othello was married to Desdemona.
But he took her for the wars and he left her alone.
It was Amona.
Crona.
He left her alone.
He didn't write a letter and he didn't telephone
Now
her.
Desdemona, she was faithful, chastity tight. She was the daughter of a duke.
She was totally white, but Iago had a plan that was clever and slick. He was crafty.
He was sly. He was kind of a...
He said, I'm gonna shut them all.
How you gonna do it?
Tell us.
Well, I know he tried to flaw his days.
Too damn jealous. Need a dupe, I need a dope, I need a kind of a schmo.
So he gets a chump sucker by the name of Cassio.
He plants in him Desdemona's handkerchief.
And Othello goes wondering maybe if, well, he was out fighting battles far from home.
Desdemona wasn't in her bedroom all alone.
So he come back home and stick a pillow in her face.
He kills her then soliloquies about a disgrace.
But there's Amelia at the door.
Who we met in Act 5.
She says, hey, you big dummy, she weren't no hoe. She was pure, clean, virginal too. So why'd you have to go and make her face turn blue?
Now what you gonna do?
And Othello say,
Yo, this is getting pretty scary.
So he pulled out his blade and committed Harry.
Iago got caught, but he probably kept the plea.
Loaded up his bags and moved to Beverly
Hills, that is. Let's take a break from all this heavy tragedy and move on to the comedies for a while.
When it came to comedy, Shakespeare was a genius at borrowing and adapting different plot devices from other theatrical traditions.
Basically, Shakespeare stole everything he ever wrote.
Right. You see, Shakespeare was a formula writer, and once he found a formula that worked, he used it over and over and over again.
So, Mr. Shakespeare, the question we have is this.
Why did you write 16 comedies when you could have written just one?
In answer to this question, we've taken the liberty of condensing all 16 of Shakespeare's comedies into a single play, which we have entitled The Comedy of Two Well-Measured Gentlemen and the Merry Wives of Venice in A Midsummer's Twelfth Night in Winter.
Or Cymbeline taming Pericles in The Merchant in The Tempest of Love as much as you like it for nothing.
Or
The Love Boat Goes to Verona.
we now return to the tragedies. Because, well, basically, we've found that the comedies aren't half as funny as the tragedies.
Right. Take, for example, Shakespeare's Scottish play. Oh, gee. I'm sorry. You're not supposed to say the name of the play unless you're performing it, because it's cursed. Luckily, we not only do an abbreviated version of Macbeth, but after much research and extensive training, we are able to do so in perfect Scottish accents.
Double, double, toil and trouble, fire burn and cauldron bubble!
Stay, you rhymy lass. Tell me, more.
Macbeth, Macbeth, beware of Macduff! For none of woman born shall harm Macbeth till all of Burnham Wood come to Dunsinane, don't you know?
Oh, well, that's dead great. Then what, McNeed, McI, McFear of Macduff?
See ye to me, and know that I was from my mother's womb and I'm the ripped!
What?
Ah! Know what to think about that?
I think it's bloody disgusting. Lay on your haggis face.
Ah, Macbeth, you killed me wife. You murdered me babies. You shot me still.
Oh, I didn't I?
Oh, aye, you did. I had to throw half of it away. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Ah! 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 Ah!
Behold where lies the serpent's cursed head. Macbeth, your butt is out the windy. There never was a story of blood and death than that of Mr. and Mrs. Macbeth. Thank you.
Thank you.
Meanwhile, Julius Caesar was a much beloved tyrant.
Heil Caesar!
Heil, citizens!
Who is warned by ein Soothsayer?
Beware the Ides of March!
The great Caesar ignored sein warning.
When's the Ides of March?
The 15th of March.
Why, that's today!
Oh, really?
Ah! 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 Et tu, Brute!
That was a lot shorter than I thought it was going to be. Let's do it again. But in the original Latin with English translation.
In tempore praetadio, plusquam perfecto de temox dicen, Cesare.
People will soon have to refer to you in the past perfect tense, Caesar.
Si, e che ora uxora me me ne cavi tabeo.
Oh gosh, look at the time. My wife's gonna kill me. I gotta get out of here.
Ecco, spiritus Elvis!
Look, the ghost of Elvis. Oh, beware!
Et tu, Brute, adoro la goddess of North Home Species. Subito mi vive veleno. Oh, peso cantavi!
Even you, Brutus, are grounded. No television for a week. Sunday don't feel so good. Oh, the fat lady has sung. I'm sick of the tragedies.
I agree. Let's move on to the histories.
Oh, there's so many of them.
Yeah, I know, but we gotta do them. Why don't we make them more like sports?
What do you mean?
Sports are visceral. They're exciting to watch. All the kings and queens killing each other and passing down the throne is exactly like playing football. You just do it with a crowd.
Yeah, they're kind of like sports. All right. 25, 42, Richard III, Henry II, hike.
On the crown snapped to Richard II, that well-spoken monarch from the 14th century. He's fading back to pass, looking for an air downfield. There's a heavy rush from King John.
Ah, my gross flesh sinks downward. Victory's mine.
He's hit by King John, that rarely performed player from the 12th century, and he's down. Ooh, that has gotta hurt. He's killing him out there. King John is in the clear.
My soul hath elbow room.
He's at the 30, the 20. Oh, but he's poisoned at the 10-yard line. It looks like he is out for the game. Replacing him now is number 72, King Lear.
Divide our kingdom in three. Cordelia, you go long.
Fictional character on the field. Automatic ejection. Repeat, first down. Lear is ejecting. It looks like he is not happy about it.
Rats.
Now taking the field is that father and son team of Henry IV and Prince Hal. Center snaps to the quarterback. Quarterback throws to the hunchback. Looks like Richard III's limp is giving him trouble.
Oh, a horse, my kingdom for a horse.
There's a pile up on the field, and fumble! And the ball is picked up by Henry VIII. He's at the 40, the 30, the 20, the 10. He stops at the 5 to chop off his wife's head, and touchdown for the Red Rose! You gotta believe this is the beginning of a Tudor dynasty! And now, for our grand finale, we present Hamlet in 10 seconds!
Stop bothering me, Hamlet! Silence, wench. Don't you know this is the ecstasy of love?